Good evening, everyone, and welcome once again to the place to be each and every Sunday night. Here, live and exclusive on Top Split TV, we have round 10 of Sunday Night Lights. I'm your host, Alex McKellar, and joining me, well, kinda tonight, is the chaotic one, Corey Steinhauser. I say he's absolutely chaotic this week because he's gone a bit AWOL. I can't find him. Corey, if you're there, let me know at some stage. But otherwise, he's in the channel. But we're flying solo here tonight. We are, of course, at Watkins, Glen for round 10 here tonight. We've got a bumper crop once again, cracking the top strength of field for the week. Those of you playing at home, strength of field is roughly the average skill or I rating, as it's known in these circles, of the drivers in the field tonight. The higher the skill rating, the higher the I rating of the field, or the drivers therein, the stronger the field, the bigger the points, and the better the action on track tends to be, because the standard of driving here is generally awesome here on a Sunday night. But for now, the guys are out there on track doing their 2 hot laps. Now, we'll just bring up the standings here. So they've yet to cross the line for the first of their 2 laps by the looks. Very challenging layout here for Watkins Glen, or perhaps not, depending on your opinion of it. Of course, we're not doing the classic boot layout, as we just saw Edwards there go, or bypass. He kept going right there out of the carousel. And he's continued on into the back section. What is the closing stages in all configurations? Turn 6 and 7 here tonight. As these guys go around here tonight, Toshimasa Hanada leading the pops, or leading the standings at the moment, or they've just been pit by O'Fray as he crossed the line. We have 19 cars here tonight. Lee Anderson joining us once again, although he's dropping down the order in P7 at the moment. Tim Hendrickson, who's currently sitting in 2nd overall here tonight in the season, he has provisionally got pole at least, and it sounds like, or I'm crossing my fingers, that Corey might be back here tonight. Corey, big night of action ahead of us. Yeah, well, we're all back in train now, and speaking of a train, we might see a bit of that here tonight. Very heavy on the draft, this track. Already Hendrickson in the 125 dead range, which is very fast around here, of course, but he is only just ahead of the man on your screen there. Oh, there, hang on. Yeah, I did forget to turn Corey on. There we go. Corey, they should be able to hear you now, mate. Hopefully our technical issues have all gone past us now.
Well, I think we've had one each now, Alex, so that's a great start to Sunday Night Lights for this week. Excellent track. I'm excited to be here calling out this race with you. Hopefully people in the stream can hear me now. Or else they might just think that I'm your imaginary friend at this point, Alex.
Yeah. No, I think we got you now, mate. I think we're sorted as the guys are now finishing out their laps now. I think everyone's almost run and won, so to speak. Mr. Snell for Team Milo, of course. He's what's he, car 11 in here tonight. He's where's he dropped it? In P6 provisionally. That's a good result. His teammate in Sammy J. Toykala, current season leader. He's down in P5, unusual for him to be so far down the order in quali, but not sure how many laps he's done around here this week. Anthony Catt from UK and I joining us as well. He's all the way down to P12. I'm wondering if this is an actual quali lap, or if he's just on his cool down. I guess we'll find out as he crosses the line. This time, very challenging. Couple of spots in this circuit. Of course, the infamous bus stop chicanes, where we're going to see plenty of action tonight, Corey.
Yeah, exactly, Alex. And another point on the track that can be a little bit difficult is just the entire first sector in itself. It's a fairly flat first corner here with a lot of runoff, which we will see a lot of the drivers using, especially in the early laps with the tires still being cold. And then the S's section that leads up to the back straight can be difficult to navigate at the best of times. And with the way that the tyre model is this season, is proving to be a little bit of extra difficulty as well, Alex.
Yeah, you flat through there, but the difficulty, of course, is managing the rear of the car to some extent, but also the traffic around you, depending on how the race unfolds. The guys here tonight expecting to be in a lot of traffic, a lot of strategy, and some folks complain about drafts tracks, as this most certainly is, but others just enjoy the strategic elements of it, where the field is brought somewhat more together than it is at more technical layouts. So just a couple of guys left out on track in Toykala and O'Fray, just warming down their laps. Why don't we, as those guys do that, if I can find the right angle here, it's here somewhere. I've got to find it. It's not that one. I can't find it. Anyway, let's leave Sammy to his cool down and let's go through our grid here tonight. Hendrickson from Team Torpedo taking out pole here tonight with a 24.9. Not getting much more out of his second lap, but certainly a 24.9's no slouch around here. P2 tonight went to Sasha Gourlay from Simatalk Esport with a 25 dead. Simon Edwards from UK&I in P3, just shy of 2/10 off pole. Jose Soria from Pistons Sim Racing Team, the leading Iberian club member here tonight in P4. Sammy J. Toykala, current season leader of the official standings, and also for Sunday Night Lights representing Team Milo in P5. Ben Snell, his up and down love affair with, or love-hate relationship with Quali continues in P6 tonight. Good effort from the Team Milo driver. P7, Julian O'Fray. P8 from Japan, Toshimasa Hanada. P9, David Stefanini from Italy, returning to us once again, followed by 3 UK&I drivers in Lee Anderson, Anthony Jones from Team Torpedo, and Anthony Catt, rounding out the first page of the grid. Over to the second page now, the ANZ driver of Kevin Henderson in P13. P14 is Joachim Bruckner. P15, Mitchell McLeod for Torque Inc. Great to see him back in the top split. P16, Håkon Grebstedt from Team Ovaltine. Not where he thought he might qualify. P17 went to Etienne Delilovic. Hopefully I'll get that right at some stage. P18 went to Benjamin Ray Molero from Iberia. P19, Cristobal Otero Roman from across Simart Competition. He and his compatriot in P18 did not set a time. The strength of field here tonight, as we mentioned, 4,395, and the all-important track temperature is 24 degrees. Now, interesting to see that with a 24.9, the top, 16 cars separated by less than a second, Corey. That tells you something about what we should expect here tonight, eh?
Well, it's definitely going to set the scene for what will be a fast and furious race here, and I'm expecting that we're going to have a big pack, at least 8 or 9 deep, especially in the first 2 or 3 laps here, Alex. It's definitely going to be a track of driver skill, and I'm just hoping that we have an excellent race, which we have become accustomed to here in the Sunday Night Lights series.
Absolutely, as the red lights mean rev, green lights mean go, and we are away for the first of 17 times down to the 90-degree corner at turn 1 as the flag marshal waves furiously that green flag held in his hand as 19 cars head down into turn 1. Will 19 survive? Looks like they might have got away okay, Corey, and let the drag race begin as we have 19 flying skippies make their way up the hill for the first time through the S's.
Yeah, indeed we will, Alex, and I must do a quick little correction. It looks like we've only got 18 cars on the track. Our 19th car there of Cristobal Otero Roman not making the grid, so I'm not sure what's going on for him, but unfortunately he's not here as we go down into the bus stop for the first time. At the front of the field, Tim Hendrickson has slotted into P2 here behind Sasha Gourlay. Simon Edwards bringing up 3rd, and Sammy J. Toykala in 4th. These guys are some of the fastest ones that we have on track every single week, Alex, and they're definitely just mixing it up early to see who's going to be the dominant force for the race.
What a spectacular sight to see these two giant packs of skippies coming out of the carousel on the run down to the penultimate corner there for the first time. They may not be that close all race through, but I tell you what, it's an amazing sight. Oh, we've lost a couple on the exit there. I think it was Henderson. Henderson went wide there on the exit of the penultimate corner there. He just managed to round it up, did not do any damage, but the leaders now approaching the 90 for the second time round now. Line astern, although it's Tuikala showing the nose up the inside, perhaps in defence as much as attack. Of course, you can swing wide here, although they will pick up an incident point there. The black car there of Sawyer, I think it was, running exceptionally wide and failing to rejoin the track. But here's where it all comes into play, the strategic elements of the race. You've got plenty of draft. The guy in third could easily be the guy in first by the time they hit the bus stop, Corey.
Yeah, that's exactly right, Alex. We could end up seeing 3 and maybe even 4 wide if we're lucky as we're heading towards the bus stop. We got 3 wide at the moment, with Simon Edwards coming up from third, as you said, to take the lead now. Tim Hendrickson and Sasha Gourlay now battling out for P2. And I reckon I called that about right earlier, Alex. I said we're going to get about a pack of 8 or 9, and we definitely have a pack of 8 racing here at the front right now.
Yeah, 8 it is. 8's going to be the way it's going to stay for a little bit. Look at them fan out again. You got that angry pack just streaming through in the background. Spectacular vision there as we see the front 8 coming through. They've got a gap of about 2 seconds behind them, but if they keep going 2 by 2 through these corners, it won't be 2 seconds for long, Corey.
No, it won't, Alex. If the second pack is smart here, currently being led by, is that Lee Anderson in the lead of it?
Sure
Just
is,
about.
mate. Yeah, sure is, mate. In fact, they were 2 seconds down coming out of the carousel there. They're now less than 1.5. But there again, 2 by 2, they want to go. And, oh, look at that. They've got through there. Have they? Grebstad was showing the nose up the inside, looking to move forward, but potentially... Well, the draft's so strong here, I'm reluctant to say it'll cost him much time because they've managed to go line astern once again. Oh, there's Mitchell McLeod there blinking in and out. But jumping back up the front, look at them again, sweeping out of the S's now. You've got these guys all vying for position. They've got 17 laps to get around here, about 14.5 to go. You don't want to play your cards too early, Corey, but you don't want to get shuffled too far back in this deck either.
That's exactly right, Alex. While the pack is still a pack like this, you want to try and make as many moves as you can so you can be in the best possible position for those final few laps. And as I was going to say before, that second pack, if they're smart enough and have enough race savvy about them, they will stay fairly line to stern. They won't fan out too much. And as I say that, I can see them fanning out behind our leading pack here. But that way they can have a chance to try and catch up to these leading 8 cars and maybe make a real battle of this towards the end of the race, Alex.
Yeah, absolutely. Speaking of battling, oh, I'll tell you what, they're starting to strew themselves out across this front straight now as they cross the line on the tail end of lap 3 now, the start of lap 4. As they come through the 90 once again. Look at them spewing wide there, trying to rejoin before the grass hits them. And, oh, I've lost my sound there. I'm not sure what's going on there. This must be my headphones there. Hopefully the sound's continuing for the folks at home. But these cars now ranging up through the exit of the S's once again onto this back straight on the approach to the bus stop. Mid-stage is lap 4, Corey.
And we're going 3 wide again into the bus stop, and it looks like we're even
we've lost one out the back.
Julian Alfrey up into this battle. Oh, one out the back.
Yeah.
I'm not sure who that was. I didn't see.
Malero, mate, he's just lost through the S's. Take it back, mate. You keep going up front.
All right, so we got Sasha Gourlay out in the lead right now, and Tim Hendrickson in P2, and it looks like they're starting to form a little bit of a gap here to the cars in third, Alex, as the third place looks like to be under contention very soon. We know that fourth place is definitely under contention. So we're looking at, you know, another 13 more laps of this excitement for the rest of the race, Alex.
Yeah, absolutely. These 2 packs really ringing the necks of these skippies. It's great to get this close action throughout the race, showing the quality of these drivers. But as has been said previously, this track, it appeals to some and not to others. But I tell you what, the action's fast and furious here tonight, Corey.
Indeed it is, Alex. And this is a track that personally I do very well at. No matter what the tire model is, I just click here for some reason. But yeah, me and this track get along really well. It just suits my style of driving, and these guys, it looks like, at least the front pack, the track also is suiting them with the draft and the strategy aspect of this race. As we see now, we're going to get another 3-wide battle going into the bus stop. Every lap so far, we've gone 3 wide, Alex, going to the bus stop. This is absolutely crazy racing.
Oh, I tell you what, they nearly went 4 wide. Certainly the guys battling for second. Oh, Gourlay and Edwards there nearly going nose to tail. How do they get those things through there and keep them straight, Corey? There was not room for 2, let alone 3 skippies there, in my opinion, but they managed to get it done. What's it done is, it has done though, is Let's Hendrickson. He's out to about an 8 to 7/10 lead now. The draft kicking in. These guys want to get it sorted or he's going to run away with it.
And run away with it, we definitely know that Tim Hendrickson can do. He has shown time and time again that he has the pace to come from almost anywhere in the pack and then go straight to the front and just run away with it. He might have a little bit of a harder time here because there is such a small amount of corners, but he's definitely trying to make an effort at getting away from the rest of the pack here, Alex.
O'Fray swinging out to the inside of the track. Don't know if he was showing the nose there or trying to break some sort of draft or something, but certainly a very dynamic move on the approach to turn 1. They're up through the S's now, they go. Line astern, yet more action you couldn't hope for, because you know once they get out of the S's here, they'll fan out to 3, maybe 4 wide, and then try to funnel and get it sorted by the time they hit the bus stop this time through. What's going to happen this time? It's only 2 wide this time, and 1 wide as they just fold in. It's like cards folding together as you shuffle them, as the decks get shuffled each time they go through that bus stop. Each time it's almost, I don't know if you call it a lottery, Corey, but I think there'll be a lot of luck in potentially who wins here tonight.
Well, I know if anyone's got any bets on this race, it's definitely going to be a lottery to who's going to win it. But in saying that, I'm also going to just quickly point our attention to the 11 car of Ben Snell, just quietly sitting there in P7, Alex. He's just been keeping his nose clean this entire race, and he's just sitting there waiting his time out, waiting for an opportunity where he can start making some moves later in the race.
Yeah, absolutely. Anyone here in this front pack of 8 cars can certainly be in it right at the end. Now, I'm going to ride on board here with Simon Edwards, the driver in P3, as he exits the 90 now. Of course, taking that wide exit there. I want to see what can happen here for the car in 3rd position, because 3rd to 1st is easily an option here. Let's see what he can do. He's tucked in behind Gourlay now. He runs to the left using the side draft. Will he box Gourlay in? Looks like he will. And what? Oh, he's been hit! He's been hit by O'Fray up the straight. He's managed to hang on to it, but that was unexpected. Not what we would have expected on the straight. But O'Fray and Edwards now. Let's go and grab a replay, because we were on board with him, but we did not. Oh, what's going on here? That's not what we want. Sorry, folks. Let's try that again. See if we can't get it this time. Now we're a bit too far back, but this will show us for sure as we see them come out of the 90 there, running up the through the S's. We'll see O'Fray tucked right in behind Edwards there. Line astern they go, and then as they exit the S's, has he just misjudged it, or what's happened there? Because he's boxed. Oh, he's just moved out on him, expecting there to be a gap, and there wasn't. And that was all she wrote for those two. But meanwhile, let's jump back up the front, and we're down to a pack of 6 now, Corey. Amazing that these 6 front runners managed to keep going after that incident in the midst of them.
Yeah, exactly right, Alex. And that was a crazy accident. I was watching from the outside view while you were on board there with Simon. But as we're going 3 wide again, this time it looks like it was for P2 and then P1. And out of nowhere, Sammy J. Toykala has now taken the lead, and Tim Hendrickson has been shuffled down to 3rd, Alex.
Yeah, and he wasn't anywhere near the incident, but of course the draft and the racing here is so strong that it's so easy to happen. As we say, the guy in P3 often ends up in the lead by the time they hit the bus stop. They're about 3 seconds ahead of that chasing pack led by David Stefanini, with Cat and Anderson working together trying to bridge the gap. They're about 3.1 seconds now behind and not looking like they're bridging that gap, or will they be a part of the lead when it comes down to it, Corey?
Yeah, no, unfortunately, with the depletion of this second pack, I think these guys are going to be as close to that front pack as they're going to be hoping for, Alex. Unfortunately, the 3-car pack versus the 6-car pack is just not a viable way of trying to gain time on the leaders, especially with how much draft there is around this particular track. So unfortunately, these guys will be relegated to the back, but as we're going to move back up to the front, because we're just starting to get out of the S's now, Alex, and back onto that long back straight. And it looks like we've also got a lap car up the track a little bit, just about to head into the bus stop. We're 3 wide again, Alex. It's absolutely crazy racing.
3 wide, they've got it sorted now. Oh, look at them, just fold the cards in once again as Toykala goes from first to third, and Hendrickson, the reverse of that. It seems to be the guy in second ends up in second, and first and third just swap places depending on how aggressively he's boxed in, of course. But this front pack now of what do we got? We've still got 6 drivers here. Hanada and Snell just sitting patiently on the back there. How long before they make their move? Some 8 laps to go as they cross the line this time, and you see Molero, the lap car, after that incident earlier in the race, about to get swamped by the leading pack of 6, Corey.
Yeah, and he's going to be a sitting duck for sure and certain, Alex. They might actually get back to him when they get on the back straight here. Of course, he does not have any draft whatsoever, and that's going to be seriously hampering his lap time. In fact, his fastest lap for the race so far is a 1:26.4. His last lap was a 1:27.1. So that's just to put into perspective, draft versus no draft, especially for you know, someone who's just running by themselves at the back here, Alex, with this snarling pack of leaders that are going to be, you know, coming at him 2 or 3 wide here on the back straight.
Absolutely. The front two getting it done. This time Gorley's going to make a liar out of me and potentially lead him in as Hendrickson just gets leapfrogged. And the person in P3, Toykala there, just holding station with Soria tucked right in behind him there in P4. And once again, Snell and Hanada content to sit there in P's 5 and 6 respectively. Look for them to start moving forward in the last 5 laps as they go 3 wide once again, nearly into the final, or the penultimate corner. Now they're sweeping 4th gear corner as Molero gets out of the way sensibly and lets the leading pack through safely. Well done, sir. As the front two now led by Gourlay and Hendrickson, with Toykala tucked in P3, race to complete lap 10 on the start of lap 11 now, Corey. I don't know what's left to play out here, but I'm sure these guys will make it exciting for us.
What I'm actually surprised at, Alex, is we haven't seen anyone diving down towards the pit wall on the front straight to try and get that little bit of a gap so they can get a better run coming onto this back straight. I'm not sure whether it's not that viable of a strategy here or what's going on, but yeah, I just thought that was a little bit of strangeness that I should thought I should report on.
Yeah, these guys, I think, are really saving up. This section here, also we see Soria cut right to the right-hand side of track there. It's really, at this stage, cutting yourself into to overtake in turn 1 at the 90 there. You're really compromising your run on exit, because once you've exited that corner, it's a 3rd gear corner, the turn number 1. You're really flat then until you hit the bus stop, and that's your main overtaking opportunity there. And if you compromise your exit out of turn 1, you're not going to make anything of it. So it's interesting. I mean, towards the later stages, if there are guys starting to get desperate to move forward in the pack, absolutely, you'll see it into turn 1. You'll see it probably nearly every corner. Like turn 6, the second to last corner, you'll see moves done there as well. But at this stage, as they cross the line, they've got 6 to go. Expect some more aggressive manoeuvres to start occurring in the next few laps. But in the early stages, certainly not something you'd be wanting to try for fear of compromising your speed overall and losing the pack there, Corey.
I think you might have misunderstood what I said very briefly there. But that doesn't matter. I was talking about just breaking the draft to get that little bit of a 5/10 gap between yourself and the car in front. But anyway, back onto the back straight now. We've still got Tim Hendrickson in the lead with Sasha Gorley now making the move on the left side of him. Sammy J. Toykala just piling right in behind Tim Hendrickson there. Not looking at trying to make a move at this stage. You reckon Sammy J might be trying to save up his stuff a little bit here for the final lap, Alex?
Yeah, potentially, mate. He's tucked right in behind there. He is known to be quite patient and then move forward when the opportunities present late. But you've also got Snell and Hanada sitting there quietly as well. That second pack now led by Anderson with Stefanini and Kat tucked in behind. They're sitting there quietly with the lapped Molero sitting just tucked in behind them as well. Behind them, you've then got 10th position Mitch McLeod and Joachim Bruckner with him. Grebstad running a lonely race there back in P12. Meanwhile, jumping back up to the front, we have Gourlay leading around this time with Hendrickson defending or taking that inside line into turn one. Not enough to compromise his speed, but enough to hold off the inquisitions or the questions that Toykala might have asked him through there, Corey.
Yeah, and again, Alice, I think that was alluding to what I was trying to allude to before with how you just move along the side on the straightaway to try and gain a little bit of a gap between yourself and the car in front of you to make the draft a little bit more effective. So when you come onto this back straight, you can get the big runners we see on the inside of the track. I think that was Sawyer down onto the grass there, Alex. And I'm not sure whether he's made it out. Yep, he's made it out alive in P3. But that has now provided a big gap for both Hendrickson and Sasha Gourlay now. And these guys are going to be enjoying a big lead over this second part of the front pack now.
Oh, I'll tell you what, Soria might have just lost a few Christmas cards out of that one. He ran up the grass, up the straight there, chucked it up the inside, and then busted the draft for these guys who are now 1.1 seconds behind. They might just get a sniff, but it looks like it's Hendrickson and Gourlay about to run away with this one. That sort of desperation might be called for on the last couple. Oh, Hendrickson's been put into the wall on the straight. What's happened there? Let's go and have a look. Hang on, can we get a tighter shot there? Let's go back and have a look. I don't know if he's done that himself. What's happened there? Can we get a look? Why has he spun into the wall there? Come on, give me a decent view of it. He's done that all on his own. I don't know if that's hardware failure or what's going on, or he might have clipped the grass. But he's just done that all on his own, Corey, and that's the end of his night, that's for sure.
Well, that is definitely one of the strangest things that I have ever seen happen in one of these races, Alex. It must be some kind of hardware failure, because there's no way that Hendrickson would have done that by himself. He's a skilled enough driver to be able to avoid silly mistakes like that. But anyway, back at the front of the pack, we've got Sasha Gourlay now with the lead. And it looks like he's got about a 1.1 second gap here as they go into the penultimate corner. And these guys behind just maybe getting that little bit of a sniff of the draft. But it's looking like it's just not going to quite be enough to catch up to him at the moment, Alex.
Yeah, 1.3 seconds now is the gap. There will not be any draft in that as these guys now go 2 by 2. This is where we start talking about those moves. Toykala now looking up the inside of Soria, who's led him through there, trying to minimise the damage of the compromised speed through the tighter line there. Now we've got... yeah, Toykala leading Soria there. You got Snell taking advantage of anything and everything he can get. Let's hop on board there with Snell. What's he going to do up here? He's in the box seat. He lifted a bit there, though. You can hear him lifting. Snell visible in the rear view mirror there. He is not going to take the run here. Just 2.5 laps to go as they head through the bus stop this time round, saving his run for what? I don't know. Because he needs to move forward if he's going to grab that spot on the podium, Corey.
Well, I think what Ben's doing is very smart here, Alex. He's keeping himself in that third position in the line which means that he's going to have the greatest opportunity to get the double draft on the back straight on that final lap to try and make the move up to the podium position. So at the moment, I think Ben's just sitting there playing the smart game, but also looking just behind him, Toshimasa Hanada is still just right there, just looming a little bit further behind Ben. I'm not sure whether he's just starting to struggle for pace a little bit or whether he's holding that gap there intentionally. But it's definitely going to be an interesting battle for these minor places on the podium.
Yeah, absolutely. Just the 2 laps to go as they cross the line. This time around, we see Glen now out to a 1.3 second lead. So the lap times are pretty consistent between these guys, but that doesn't mean there's going to be any gaps bridged here. Although these guys are going to make it interesting. Sawyer now in P2 on the exit of the S's this time round. Toykala going around the outside this time, Snell. What will he do as we... Oh, he's got him between him, Corey. He's split the pair of them. He's going to take the lead of that pack into the bus stop this time. 2 Team Milo cars go. Oh, Snell, he's lost the rear of the car. Oh, he's hung on to it. His drift skills coming into play there. Amazing save from Snell. That's taking him out of podium contention, but he will get a top 5 if he hangs on to it. Fantastic control once the rear stepped out, which the skippy of this build tends to do. Corey, what an amazing save.
Oh yeah, and it wouldn't be a Sunday Night Lights without Ben going for a slide somewhere on the track. It's inevitable, just like the changing of the days. Oh, but that is so unfortunate. He was right up there, Alex. He went for the perfect move up in between Glen and Toykala there. It was an amazing move, but now it's going to be all to play between Toykala and Toykala and Sawyer, my apologies, for this second position as we head into the first corner for the final time, Alex.
Yeah, all right on board. Sawyer this time manages to get it back on track at the exit of the 90 now as they run up the hill through the S's. Sawyer now representing Piston Sim Racing Team, of course. He's tucked right in behind. What's he going to do here? Of course, he'll swing out to the left. No, he's lifted. He's going to try and time his run, is he? Yeah, he's going to move to the... What's he doing? Surely he thinks the move's done there, or maybe he's worried about the draft on the run back through the final or the penultimate corner there. But surprising there, he hasn't made the move yet, and maybe it'll be into this final series of corners here as they run through the carousel down the hill now. The 8-plated car of Sawyer, he's tucked in behind Toykala there. I don't know if he's going to settle or what the story is here, but yeah, no, Toykala taking the defensive line. Snell now looking on the outside of similarly of Hanada, and yeah, not with a bang but a whimper they go through there as side by side is behind, and Glen now looking to cross the line, weaving in somewhat canter-like style, takes the win from Toykala and Sawyer. Snell and Hanada rounding out your top 5, Corey. Some strange manoeuvres there to finish that one out.
This has been a fairly strange race in itself, Alex, especially with Hendrickson having whatever happened to him. And yeah, it's definitely going to be one that will go down in the history books as probably one of the strangest strength of field races that we've done here. But all in all, still a great race and some great racing being put on show. Especially all those 3 wide situations going into the bus stop, Alex. It's been absolutely amazing.
Yeah, look, I got to tell you, the standard driving through the bus stop was pretty amazing considering all the incidents that have no doubt occurred through there during the week. But the guys, yeah, quite peculiar fashion, I should say, a couple of them exiting, and really surprised that Sawyer didn't press home his advantage there on the final stages. I don't know if he was redressing some previous sins or what the story was there, but he really just let Toykala have that one, mate.
Yeah, and I'm not quite sure because he did look like he was trying to go for that move into the penultimate corner. But yeah, I guess we won't ever know unless he decides to come in for an interview.
Yeah, that's right. All right, let's go through our final results for round 10 of Sunday Night Lights here. Sasha Glen running away with it in the end. After starting in second and dicing the duel with the lead pack, he's come out on top tonight for Simatok Esports. Sammy J. Toikala, current season leader and previous season champion in P2, representing Team Milo, some 2 seconds behind. And just behind him was, in third position, Jose Soria from Iberia, representing Pistons Sim Racing team there. Really nothing separating them. 2 100s in the end. Ben Snell, after quite the amazing save there, finishing in P4, representing Team Milo after making his move, after being so patient throughout, all came unstuck right there at that time. P5 went to Toshimasu Hanada. Great result for Toshi once again. P6 to David Stefanini, leading the best of the rest out there from the Italian club. UK and I's Lee Anderson in P7. P8, the second of the ANZ finishes here tonight. Mitchell McLeod from Talk Inc. Once again, great seeing back in the top split. P9 tonight went to Joachim Bruckner. P10 to UK and I's Anthony Catt. P11 to Håkon Grebstad, representing Team Ovaltine. P12, Anthony Jones, the other Team Torpedo driver, or the, shall we say, the leading Team Torpedo driver, as it turns out, tonight in P12. Just going over the page now. P13 went to UK and I's Simon Edwards. We saw what happened to Simon on the straight. He and P14 Julian O'Fray coming together in quite an amazing incident to go with many of the bizarre events of tonight. P15 tonight went to Etienne Delilovic. There we go. I might get it eventually. P16 Benjamin Ray Molero from Iberia. P17 to Team Torpedoes, Tim Hendrickson, who we can only assume had equipment failure, but quite a bizarre end for his race, leading, of course, when he went the way of the Dodo. P18 tonight went to ANZ stalwart of Skippy Racing, Kevin Henderson, who did retire, also as did Cristobal Otero Rahman, although he didn't actually retire. He didn't start the race. One of the leading Iberian drivers and very active in the Iberian scene or Spanish racing community. Great to see him back, but really unfortunate that he wasn't able to take the track tonight. The strength of field, as we said, was 43.95, and the fastest lap tonight, a draft assisted, no doubt, in a 1:24.3, Corey, but that's still getting around here like jets, mate.
Yeah, exactly. It is, Alex. And yeah, unfortunately for Tim Hendrickson, we probably won't know what's happened to him. I don't see him waiting in the green room at all. But yeah, that was just one of the weirdest accidents that I've ever seen. Just turning right like that. Like, if this was real life, you'd say that he had a mechanical failure of some kind.
Yeah, that's what I had it pegged for, mate. It was strange, if nothing else. But yeah, only Tim will know, and he can no doubt we'll find out during the week at some stage potentially. But for now, looks like we're a bit light on as far as the interviews go, but that's okay. Let me see if I can find a decent camera angle there. We'll grab our lone soldier in there, Mr. Ben Snell. Mr. Snell, mate, you sat there patiently, and then you went for the glory move, and it all came unstuck or somewhat in the bus stop there, mate.
I forgot how to go through the bus stop without following someone, I think.
Yeah, mate, it was a spectacular sort of run through there, and equally, I have to say, a spectacular save, mate. And I imagine you were hanging on by the skin of your teeth.
Yeah, I think it was more us than class on the save, but yeah, just the unfortunate little issue we had with Jose hitting, like going on the dirt, trying to make the move the lap previous, I think it was. Then the leaders broke away. Then Tim died, which is such a shame for Tim because he looked like he had a top 2 position just wrapped up in a nice little package there. And then yeah, Sammy and Jose just, I don't know, this didn't seem to mesh together trying to get that pace. I was like, nah, screw it, I'll do it. I'll go through and I'll lead the pack to glory and catch Sasha, and then absolutely flopped it.
It was spectacular. I mean, we saw you go through there, and then the rear of the car let go. I was just impressed you hung on to it, mate. That was a great bit of catching there, and I'm sure the drift skills came into play to at least some extent. And aren't we all glad, or I imagine you in particular, that it wasn't last season's model, eh?
I would have been dead 6 ways from Sunday if it was last season's model.
Any idea what happened to Hendrickson, mate? I'm wondering about equipment failure. There's talk of not bumping his fuel up and hitting the eject button. Any ideas, mate?
I don't think Tim would have just pinned it into the wall if he ran out of fuel. I was talking to Grebo and he said it sounded like he was sputtering, but I know Tim runs a Thrustmaster setup. So if his wheel did start failing in the base or something, the pedals run through the wheel, they're not separate. So it could have interfered with that, which might have given a sputter, but I'm not sure. I don't know what's happened at all.
Yeah, I've just had word from his teammate Anthony Jones that perhaps it was fuel, but really disappointing for him. But such a shame because he worked so hard, as you say, and he was a beneficiary of that a somewhat incredulous move from Sawyer up the inside there, up the back straight, and then funnily enough, I don't know if you caught sight of it, but Sawyer didn't attack Toy Carla in the closing stages there, and really sort of let him go with a whimper, not a bang, you know.
Yeah, I think he just mistimed his run out of the because he said over voice chat that he stuffed it, so I guess he mistimed his run. But I'm happy I got Toshi back, so Toshi is of course always the gentleman, just didn't fight too hard, left me plenty of room, and I left him plenty of room, and we managed to make it through. And I'm still happy to have a top 5 after binning it as bad as I did.
Yeah, that's it, mate. Well, congratulations, a great result. Top 5, as you say, leading ANZ driver here tonight, and hopefully a few more of these good results to come, mate. So, but thank you for joining us here on track and in the booth once again, mate. Anyone like to give a shout out to before we let you go?
As always, shout out to you guys for putting on the broadcast. Thank you to everybody for coming out, putting on such a great race. Go Team Milo. Russell says hi, and of course, welcome to our newest member, because we're getting a new one every week apparently. Master Paul Beatty.
Excellent, thanks, Ben. Great to have you in here as always, mate. We look forward to catching you in the coming weeks.
Cheers, guys.
Well, there you go. Oh, and do you know who I might have just spotted here, Corey? Oh, he's disappeared. I thought I saw Mr. Gourlay hovering around in one of the voice channels, but it looks like he's ducked off. So maybe I spoke to him during the week, and I was hoping that he'd join us, but he might have just ducked off. Unfortunately, it's a shame, but maybe in the coming weeks we'll speak to this week's winner from there. But look, great drive from Ben, I thought. Great drive from a number of the drivers out here tonight. And I'll tell you what, this could have gone bang or bust, this race, depending on how the guys drove out there. But they showed a great deal of skill and patience in many cases, mate. Ooh. Sorry, hang on a sec, mate. You're breaking up there. Looks like Discord's having some issues there, which we have had just recently. And it doesn't like you and I talking, unfortunately. But look, if it does come back, I'll bring you back in at some stage, mate. But sorry about that. All right, folks. Technical issues aside, that might do us for tonight. We didn't get many up in the booth, but we had plenty of action on track to show for it. Oh, there we go, Corey. I think you're back, mate. What's your takeaways from the racing tonight?
If it is indeed fuel that put Tim Hendrickson into the wall there, I'm actually very surprised. I thought he would have come into the pits for a quick top up, because we know that he's got the driver skill, and he probably had a big enough gap that he still would have gotten himself some points here tonight. But great drive by everyone involved for the most part. Ben, great save, and go Team Milo. But yeah, all in all, another great race at Watkins Glen. It always seems to deliver some kind of exciting race, and I'm glad that we were here for the call, albeit with a little bit of technical issues there, and especially quality-wise here towards the end. But yeah, all in all, very enjoyable race, Alex.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. And that might just about do us here, folks, for this week. Of course, next week we're coming live from the new Silverstone track. So looking forward to that. Of course, very flat out there And the latest build package of the Skippy with the change to the aero will, I think, present quite a number of people with some unique challenges. But until then, folks, all the places you can find us are on your screen. Corey, what do you got coming up this week?
I'm looking at routes. I'm doing a little bit of dirt racing. I'm going to be doing a little bit of skippies around Silverstone and playing a lot of 17 lately, as a lot of people
Oh
know.
my word! Sorry, mate. I'm gonna have to cut you off. We're losing you again. I don't know what's going on. It looks green at this end, but Discord's not playing friendly tonight. But for those of you who want to catch up with Corey and all his action, check out the bottom link there on your screen. His Twitch channel is Corey Has No Life 13. He does get fruity on there, folks. Not quite PG rated, but certainly a lot of fun. As for the Top Split, folks, this race replay will be on the Top Split YouTube channel. The Discord link there on your screen is where you can join us for post-race interviews, and where we do the broadcast from. The Top Split podcast is available on the topsplit.com. And right here on Twitch at Top Split TV, you will find myself doing some racing at Silverstone this week, maybe a bit of action otherwise, and also right back here, same bat time, same bat channel next week for round 11 of Sunday Night Lights. But until then, folks, thank you very much for those of you joining us home. Thank you for the drivers for their continued support of the series out on track. And until next time, on behalf of Corey Steinhauser, I've been your host, Alex McKellar, and I will say ciao for now.